The Buck Sexton Show.
Our guest is Kat Timpf. She's a TV personality, reporter, comedian. You've heard her many times before on the show. Kat, thank you for calling in.
Oh, yeah, of course.
All right, Kat. So I don't know if you got a chance to hear any of this before, and I'm going to guess you didn't. So let me just go out there and ask you. In the last hour, we've had quite a robust exchange over what is a conservative to do if, and let's just make this assumption, because I know there are people who say Rubio and Cruz, they're going to pull it out.
No.
I wouldn't put my money on it. Anyway,
No.
If the choice is Donald Trump for the GOP and Hillary Clinton, what do you do?
Right. Yeah, no, a lot of people are saying they won't vote. I mean, I know I'm a libertarian, so I don't like any of them particularly, agree with what any of them think in total. Everybody also knows how I feel about Hillary Clinton, of course.
Right.
She's a horrible criminal.
She is indeed. But so, what do you do?
She's the biggest hawk in the race. She's, I don't know. I may vote third party.
Okay, you go maybe third party, because I had a conservative. I don't know if you know Tom Nichols over at the Federalist in the last hour. He says that as a true conservative, and I think this is exactly what he said. As a conservative, you have to vote for Hillary against Donald. And I'm like, I'm just never doing that.
No, I mean...
No. I agree with you. I think I was like... But I have to say, a fair amount of people are calling in and tweeting at me, and they're taking that position, too. And I feel like I'm living in some bizarro world now. This is the new conservatism is somehow voting for Hillary. That can't be true.
No, it absolutely can't be. I think it's possible that, either one of them could be a one-term president, because this is all just such a mess that we don't really know what to expect. Nobody likes either of these people. It's just that the people that do like them, particularly with Trump, they love Trump. Okay, Trump can do no wrong. Trump is immortal. Trump is perfect. But there's still, he has a lot of very high unfavorability ratings. And, the dude, I think, might even get bored being president.
I think I'm not sure that he wants to be president for 8 years. I really, that's just my gut instinct. I have nothing to base that on other than when you're used to being a billionaire who pretty much does whatever he wants whenever he wants. I'm not sure you want to be in the White House for 8 years. I think after a while it may feel pretty confining, and I think he would. I agree with you. I think he actually would get pretty bored of it. Right. That all said, I think Hillary Clinton is, and I've been making this case, and so people are going to get mad at me for repeating myself. That being the case, I think that voting for Hillary means 100% you get a progressive, you get somebody that everything that's coming along with that. Okay, so I wanted to switch gears for a second because, Kat, we've been talking so much about the election and everything else to some campus politics stuff. Have you seen the latest with, I'm forgetting, Ben Shapiro giving a speech where they had to sneak people in the back door because they locked the main entrance and then they pulled a fire alarm during his speech?
Yeah, I mean it's insane. It's that they don't really seem to know what an actual danger or actual emergency is. So I'm not surprised having somebody who they disagree with. I mean, this is the kind of thing that you would think that you'd see on a sketch or satire by them reacting this way. But it's gotten to the point where satire is completely indistinguishable from reality. How do they expect to live in the real world? I mean, believe it or not, there are people that are, even more troublesome than Shapiro out there. Okay,
we've had Milo Yiannopoulos on the show. I don't know if do you know Milo?
Yeah, we had him on the Gutfeld show. A few weeks ago. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've had Milo on it. He has college kids, in this case, college women, smearing blood on their faces when he gets up to give a speech at
Which
Rutgers.
Which is a very eloquent argument. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much case closed, right? Checkmate. And
exactly.
This is now, I remember campus leftism very well because I was a college Republican at a place that is much more left-wing than I think most people realize. I know you went to a conservative college, right. So, lucky you. You didn't have to hear lectures about how, Marx is just misunderstood. But this is a whole new level we're seeing now. And it's not just that the media's been covering it more. It has gotten more extreme. I'm seeing things out. The level of stupidity also on display. And this is some of the stuff that I know you've been covering for National Review. Cornell students, for example, saying the word plantation is always racist. How does that work?
And not just always racist, but the fact that there's gardens there called Cornell plantations is actually tangibly keeping minority students from performing the best of their abilities. Okay, that's insane. That can't possibly be true. And you don't have to agree with everything or like everything in terms of these speakers. The funny thing is, Milo, he and I got into a Twitter fight about something at one point. And we had him on the show, and you know what? I was somehow able to do my job. And I was somehow not upset at all and had actually completely forgotten about the entire thing. I thought he was great on the show. You don't have to agree with someone about everything. It's not like either you agree with them or they're evil and triggering and must be stopped. It's, it's like they praise diversity and be yourself and be true to yourself. But if anybody actually dares to do that and it's different than you, they're not just different. They're evil. They're evil.
Now, brown students whine that their homework is interfering with social justice activism. Do tell. What's that all about? Brown, by the way, nothing about Brown University ever surprises me. The fact that it's a part of the Ivy League, that's a discussion for another day. But go ahead.
Right. Well, yeah, they're complaining that, that they shouldn't have to do their homework because they're so stressed out having to do homework and go to classes because they're already doing so much social justice activism, and that even with extensions, it's not enough. So let's say even with extensions, it's not enough. You're basically saying what? You want to do no coursework and do social justice activism full time? The thing is, that's totally possible. Don't go to college and work doing social justice activism full time.
Be a community organizer.
That's totally an option. But no, because they see, every option is whining because whining is seen as a noble thing. You're smart if you're whining. You're culturally sensitive if you're whining. You're not just like a weak little person, which is how we should look at whining, especially when you're whining about having to do schoolwork at school, which, by the way, is the whole point of school. I was under that impression, in these kids' faces, but I mean,
I was under that impression, and increasingly, though, it seems that that's not. I don't even know why kids are going to college anymore, based on what I'm seeing in the media. Also, campuses have another piece you have here on National Review. Campus crime alerts have trigger warnings. Why would they need trigger warnings?
Because there was a guy who was filming a girl in the shower, and it had, connection. Or excuse me, it had it had content that was about of a sexual nature because he was filming her in the shower. So they said trigger warning, and this guy got away. So this guy is still loose on the campus. He still has the footage of whoever he was taping, and he's still available to do it again. But they're saying trigger warning. This might be upsetting, and then they give the alert. So they're tangibly reducing the amount of people who are going to know about it, which reduces the chance he'll be caught. So rather than cause uncomfortable feelings, they're actually increasing the chance that this guy can do it again. They're making the students less safe in the real sense because they're so worried about this emotional safe space that they just won't shut up about, which doesn't exist, by the way.
There's no such thing as an emotional safe space, and
there's not. I saw there was a story in Harvard once about there's supposed to be this safe space, and some woman got up and read a poem she had written about the N-word, or had the N-word in it. And because she thought a safe space was somewhere she could use that word, but then someone else thought hearing that word made it an unsafe space. It's different for everybody, okay? Your safe space is in your room, under the covers, in your bed. And if that's all you can handle, then you know what? Then go to do that. But you can't expect it's just actually impossible. Would everyone have? They say everyone has these different life experiences, so certain things are going to be triggering for some and not others, and that's exactly why a safe space is never possible.
Explain to me how Cornell students or Black Lives Matter Cornell students believe that climate change is racist.
Because the Black Lives Matter, the organizers came in and they said, that climate change disproportionately affects, countries, African countries. But the thing is like there's a lot of talk about this and that, but so much talk about things that don't have any solutions, okay? We can't legislate or complain or tweet hashtag the way the environment is in certain areas of the world. It's insane.
It is indeed insane. I'm as somebody who saw some pretty crazy stuff happening in my day on campus. The things that are happening now are beyond even my wildest imagination. And so as I continue to read some of these pieces, I know you've been covering this. I just have to think something has changed, and these millennials, you know, a lot of them are out there. They love Bernie Sanders, and they also are, people throw around the term fascist and totalitarian a lot. They really, when it comes to speech in the First Amendment, there is a creeping totalitarianism that is on campus and that is seeping into the broader society from campus.
Oh, that's absolutely true. That's not an exaggeration, and it's being completely validated by campuses. These, you know, students are being taken seriously when the things that they're saying are crazy, and crazy, just flat out crazy. And you know, they're going to take that knowledge with them into the real world. And the thing is either they won't handle it, but at some point they will be the real world. So that's the scary part.
If you hear of any campus anywhere that's looking for somebody to hand out one giant verbal macroaggression, Kat, you know how to find me, so please let me know.
I think I would take that opportunity myself. But
in the meantime, your show will be on Saturday at 10?
Sunday at 10 this week.
Sunday at 10, sorry. Sunday at 10 Eastern on Fox News. You can check out Kat Timpf. You can also follow her on Twitter. Kat, always appreciate your time. Thanks for stopping by the Freedom Hut.
Oh, thank you for having me.
The Buck Sexton Show.